Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Spotlight On. As you guys know, in celebration of Day's 50th anniversary, we like to catch up with some of our favorite characters of Days of Our Lives, and today is no exception. I'll introduce our special guest in 1 second, but first, I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my chocolate twin,
James Lott Jr.
And we have our very special guest with us today. You know her as Nancy Wesley, but please give it up for Miss Patrika Darbo.
And I'm the cream filling between the twins.
Yeah, I love it.
And with that, you know that we are about to have an amazing time.
We are. With that laugh, we're ready.
Patrika, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking.
No problem.
Thank you.
I feel like I bugged her so much. I was like, hi, we do this show and we have people. Would you be one of those people that come on, please?
Please.
And I don't usually go on there, and I'm usually like, oh, how do I answer this? Oh, which buttons do I push? Yeah, I'll do it, but oh, God.
It's like, oh, no.
You may say that after the interview, but it's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
So, where do we begin? First of all, you have had just such an extensive career.
I feel like we're going to start singing Sound of Music.
We are.
Well, before we begin, can we do the one thing, I think, first?
Oh, yes. Well,
I have a surprise for you.
James.
I have a surprise. Back in 1999, I met you at the Soap Opera Digest Awards, and there's a picture up there with my friend Monique. And you were serious. I mean, I'm saying this seriously. You were the sweetest person because you were being pulled around. It was Soap Opera Digest Awards, and things were going on, and you talked to us. And we're like, hi, how are you? Oh my God. You talked to us, and then I said, can I get a picture? You're like, sure, of course. And I love that picture. So that's from...
Was I drunk? No.
No, you were sober at the time. We were all sober yet. But there we are. And I decided to surprise you with that. And I saw what I have is the actual original picture right there. I've had all these years.
That.
What the hell if I got stuffed in my bra?
Well, you're a woman. Women always have random things stuffed in
something's in there.
But it's just so funny. What it did for me and my friends is that it made us go, we're going to follow her wherever she goes, wherever she does, because you're super sweet to us. And that's what fans like. So I just want to tell you, we met a long time ago.
Well, can I have this?
Yes,
Is this mine? Thank
yes.
you. Thank you. I'll put that in my book.
You.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. So we got to get an updated picture of me and you.
I've lost weight.
You were a beautiful redhead back then.
Oh, honey, listen, Claire all just started, making new colors. And what can I say?
But it's my honor for you to have that.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
You'll have to autograph it later.
I will do that for you.
And you're still gorgeous still this day.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Very good.
So let's start with your time on Days.
Yes.
First of all, I remember when you came on to Days, because I think it was like around the time I had started watching. I had only been watching Days for like a few years, fell into it by accident, was one of those people that was like, I don't want to watch soap operas, I don't get it, what is this, blah, blah, blah. But I remember when you came on and you just brought a different energy to the show.
I wasn't quite, I was like a size 2.0 versus a size 02. and in reality, I wasn't brought on to be. I was just brought on for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But the audience embraced Kevin and I, and we got to stay. And I think it was because I had the hunky soap opera husband that's typical, and he loved and adored me as Nancy, his wife.
Yes.
And it wasn't because I had money or whatever. He just adored me, and we were doing each other everywhere. Hot tubs and stuff. I mean,
that was a pioneering storyline, actually.
It was great. It truly was. We were an unconventional couple for daytime, and I think the fans got too vicariously, if I can have that hunky good husband, then they can have that hunky good husband. And you know what? I have a husband at home that I've had for 42 years who is not a soap opera looking husband, but I adore him and he adores me. So,
was it true that Fran Bascom, who's a casting
may she
director,
rest in peace.
yeah, rest in peace,
Yes.
she contacted you and you didn't have to audition? Is that true?
Did not have to audition. Fran and I knew Fran because I had done several shows called by Dale Shores. I don't know if you know Dale.
Yes.
And she had seen every one of the shows. She was such an actor's casting director. She saw every stage show out there. She was just phenomenal, and she remembered everybody. And we were at a party at Ronnie Claire Edwards. I don't know if you ever watched The Waltons.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Clara. Anyway, we were at a party, and she said to me, "Would I do a soap?" I said, "Yes, of course I would. I'm an actor. I will do it." You know, and she said, "Good," and that was it.
Wow.
And when I got a call to be on the soap, I thought it was going to be, so here's your peanuts, here's your beer, what else do you want? You know? And my agent called me up and said, quick, turn on the TV, you're going to see who your husband is. So I turned it on and saw Kevin Spirits, went, oh, expletive, another expletive. They don't know who I am. What picture did she show them? Oh my God! Like this. So anyway, they didn't make a mistake, and I was there, and it was great. And may she rest in peace. She was wonderful, and I'm very grateful to her.
And that speaks highly of you and your work to, just get offered this role and not have to audition or anything. So, I mean, that speaks volumes of how you are.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think if there are any younger actors or older actors out there, there are small parts. But one part will lead to another part, will lead to another part. I did In the Line of Fire, which Clint Eastwood thought the scene in the bank, not when I got killed, was wonderful, and he hired me to do Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. So, and no one should ever have to tell you to be nice to other people, because what goes around does come back around.
We talked about that.
We talked about karma and that little getting chewed up. So that's I treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are people that you go like, I don't want to be nice. Anyway.
So you said a couple of days turned into obviously years.
Well, I mean, I think it was just we filmed like, I guess, like a couple weeks we were into filming, and you only worked 2 or 3 times a week at that time. And but the minute we aired, the boards lit up, everything lit up, and they were like, "Oh my God, we love it!" And they immediately came and put us under contract.
Yeah.
So that was very nice.
What did you like about the character of Nancy? What gravitated you towards, I know that you were offered the role, but like what made you go, yes, I see her, I can be her.
I had no idea who she was. I had nothing. All I knew was they'd hired me to come do a couple days. That was it.
And that was it?
And then it was like, it's good to be the bitch.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. Usually I was the beat up housewife, downtrodden, the ditzy neighbor, whatever. And Nancy was hell on wheels. And,
she was.
Took no prisoners.
She was so manipulative.
You fought with Mike, Dr. Mike. You guys had a feud too. You and Rourke Quickslam.
Nurse Allie will never forget us.
Exactly.
Drove her to a little bit nutsy face.
Yes.
And I sort of feel bad. I mean, things change and stuff, but I do believe that Nancy and Craig would have hurt a couple other people when someone turned their daughter into a prostitute.
Yes.
And my grandson. So they missed the boat on some really, really good, meaty stuff there. And who's to say that might not happen in the future?
Right.
Hello, I'm available. But there was a lot of stuff out there that I think Nancy and Craig could have shaken things up, and they do need a good chief of staff. I don't care.
Yeah.
And can you see me and your mom?
Your mom? Together, you mixing it together,
you
of course.
See what's going to happen?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I swear that hospital will be ran like clockwork.
Okay.
Can you imagine if like the Wesleys were like a Demera, like a Kyriakis? Like you have the Demeras, the Kyriakis, the Wesleys.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been it. Days might have missed the boat on that.
Well, don't forget we have this lovely daughter named Joy. And now you also have to remember that Chloe was not raised by us.
Nope.
That is true.
But Joy was raised by her mother.
By her mother.
Raised by her mother.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, On the show, you know, Nancy dealt with a lot as far as like there was a storyline where she dealt with breast cancer.
Yes.
She dealt with Chloe having leukemia.
Yes.
And even
by a truck.
Yeah, getting hit by a truck. And even just like, you know, the whole like, you know, Chloe was given up for adoption and finding her and reconnecting with her. Just as an actress, like how was that for you to be able to play like all of that and be given so much material to
For
kind
me,
of play with?
it was wonderful because, as I said before, usually I was the beat up housewife.
Yeah.
And on one scene, off one scene, or the ditzy neighbor who popped in and out. These were meaty stories that allowed me to do what I trained to do, to be an actor and to show those different things. The only thing that kind of made me crazy at one time was to get hit by a truck, be laying in the hospital, and have a full set of eyelashes.
You did.
I was like, what? What? I still have to go to hair and makeup? What? So, anyway, but you look damn good when you're on the show.
Hey, that's right.
Even laying there, you still have to be.
You look good.
And Mr. Richard Bluer clothed me fabulously. Yes.
So what was a little behind the scenes with you and Kevin? Because you had to kind of create this sexy, loving relationship.
My first scene in the bed.
Tell us, girl, tell us.
First of all, I'm like, at the camera, guys, you shoot the back of my arm, I'll kill you. I'll kill each and every one of you. So here I am in my negligee laying across him, playing with his chest, and I'm like going, oh my God, I'm in a soap and I'm playing with his chest. This is wonderful. And I hear, Patrika, it's your line, Patrika. And I went, okay.
Oh my God.
So I had sort of zoned out on Mr. Kevin Spiritus's gorgeous chest. And most of the time, because they wouldn't shoot the back of my arm because I would kill them, I was in the bed in a lovely little ensemble. He got to be naked. I'm a lucky woman. A lucky woman.
I love that. I do. I love that. And so you guys got along really famously, obviously. You're friends.
Yeah.
We are still friends.
Yeah.
I talked to him. We had dinner together 2 weeks ago, Monday, I guess, and stuff. So we see each other. Kevin and I used to do fan events, which we would do some big Broadway spectacular because Kevin is a singer.
Oh,
yes.
I was terrified all the time, but he had me out there singing and dancing and doing stuff that I would never think about doing.
That's great.
But we had the Wesleys on Broadway, the Friday Night Fever with the Wesleys, the Moulin Rouge with the Wesleys, and the best part about it was we got our fellow castmates to come and join us because you don't sometimes know that Eric Martzoff is a brilliant singer, and I can't even say all the names right this moment, but everybody. Ali Sweeney was dancing in the Moulin Rouge Boogie Woogie with us and stuff like that. I mean, everybody came out and participated in that, so it was fun to have a different side for all the fans to see the musical thing and stuff like that. So we had a great time.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
When they asked you to be pregnant, how did they approach you about things? They're like, you have to have a baby for your
I was just like, there's just baby found, and I went like this. I guess I won't be wearing a pregnant suit, though, will I? Honey, listen, they didn't even approach me with a pregnant suit. Meanwhile, the little girls with their pillows getting bigger, and I'm just like,
yeah, I'm like, I'm already there.
No, I'm fine. So.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, listen, honey, when Nancy put the hot tub into I went to the guys and I went, these float. Women's bosom are made of quite a bit of
things
stuff.
Fat. Anyway, but they float. Right. So I said, bubbles. We need lots of bubbles in this stuff like this. And then I went to the other guy saying, and when you fill this thing up, when little Miss Size 2 gets in the tub, the water rises this much. I get in the thing, the water's rising. I don't want any spillage. I don't want any crap. So, and then when we were on the run jumping through windows, I said, I want it wide. I don't want any scenes about stuff like that. So, anyway, but I had fun with the crew. I loved the crew was wonderful. The camera, everybody was terrific. I had a great time.
Now, was Days your first? It was your first venture into daytime and the soap world?
No, in the 80s, I did General Hospital.
Wait a minute. I did not know. I do my research. My cards. My notes. My cards.
But now, because I was an under 5 player on General Hospital. Okay. I played a waitress in Duke's Bar. I was Sally, and I had all of it was my first foray into soap, like terrifying because I had the expose. So like at the end of the week, they fill you in as to everything's going on.
Right.
Someone has to say all that.
Oh yeah, that was you. Oh, how funny.
So, and the doctors, I understand they were so, and then you had, and more peanuts, and I'll get you some beer in just a second. And then she was like this, and then, so it was, I was like, ooh, crazy.
Wow.
But it was when the two brothers were still there, but,
Yeah.
I mean, it was Duke's Bar. I was
I remember
when
that, I
Duke
remember
first
that.
came to Star.
Yes.
I was Sally the restaurant.
Look
Oh,
at that.
buddy.
See, well,
I didn't-
James also covers
Yes.
General Hospital
General,
here
yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
that's a tidbit you need to remind people of.
Years ago. Years ago.
I was watching it, but I just, you know. So.
Well, there was, honey, listen, there was one big scene. There was the whole thing was because most of the soaps are very generous. If you're doing an under 5 and stuff like that, and they need the same way, they get the same person back to be the waiter and the nurse and that have done things because it works faster. They know the show. They know where everything is. They know the ADs know them. So everybody, it works like a clock like this.
Yeah.
So even though I would go to work and this time the character's name would be Anne or something because that writer hadn't remembered his, and I would go, it's Sally. Sally is who I played last time, so that everybody would refer to me. But I remember when Lucy Coe,
yes.
Lucy Coe was causing all kinds of problems in the
Yes.
80s.
Yes.
I'll never forget
Lynn
this.
Herring, we love her.
And my weight kind of went up and down, like as it always says, like a yo-yo. But there was a whole big scene about these lace stockings that, anyway.
Yes.
They had to be her lace stockings, and I'm wearing them, and I'm like going, okay, they're going to have to be larger lace stockings if I'm going to be doing like this and stuff. But it was like, it was a focal point about in the bar. They're talking about the person had been in and out with these lace stockings.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh dear Lord. So, but anyway, I mean, I got to come back again, so I guess it was okay.
Okay.
They were a little bigger than they were supposed to be. But it was fun there too.
But you bring up a really good point. On soaps where looks are super, super, super important for women.
And men.
Well, men too, but even for women even more, I think so, with the sizing. I mean, the men kind of the ab thing, but for women.
You have to think, though, that we're working with these cameras that make your butt look the size of a Buick. So, these little ladies are like this big. Who cares? You're a size of a Buick. You're a little bit bigger than the Ford now. It doesn't, but it does. You kind of go, we went, and they're all little. And I can't think of her name now. I'm sorry, I'm having one of those little brain things. Abe's wife that passed away.
Lexi.
Renee Jones.
Renee Jones. What size is? They're talking, and she goes, "I'm a 0." She didn't even measure on the scale. There was nothing there. So and Christian Alfonso, gorgeous, and
Yes.
this, and just little. Sweetheart of a thing, and I'd like eat some more chocolate, eat something like this. So sweet though.
You definitely held your own on days, and you didn't let them get to you or make you sweat or anything.
You know
in
what?
my opinion.
Nobody. I don't think anyone. It was very nice. Everybody was wonderful to
Yeah.
me. There was
Yeah.
never that anyone said anything to me or made a remark about anything. Maybe because I'd have shot him, but it never really happened. It's like a family, and it was good to be a part of it. And they were very nice to me. So
was it intimidating at all to go into the daytime soap world? Because I mean, you're no stranger to acting and cameras and things like that. But for me, whenever you venture into something new, there's that little bit of like, ooh.
Well, yeah, and it took a while to get used to the when the camera comes right in on your face and it holds there for so long. Because my first couple of days, they were like, "Oh God, what's going on? Is it my line? Is I supposed to do something?" And I'm like this or this, or like a ventriloquist start going. Oh my God, is it? What's going? Because music swells and they're on. I was sort of like a deer in the headlights going, what's happening here now? And so it was a little crazy. And the camera goes, I mean, sometimes I would be, usually when you're working with the cameras, you hit your mark, and they put the mark. Now, they're a little broader with the 4 cameras going on. And there would be scenes where I would be going, I love you this way. But my back would be to Kevin. I love you, because they're doing a 2-shot, and I'm going. How can I say I love somebody and I'm not looking at them? Like that? So there were a lot of technical things that just were hard to adjust to and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you would work with somebody that had been there forever, and they were like,
It was just like easy peasy for them.
Well, they were easy peasy, and then that's when I would get intimidated when they were like, somebody would go, "Okay, you're in my light here. You're casting a shadow."
Oh.
Sorry, Deidre. Sorry. But I got to do some fun stuff with Deidre when I did the radio show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So but she's a incredible pro at what she does. I mean, and so it was a learning. You got to learn from everybody. And again, back to Christian, learning from all of them. They were all terrific stuff. Is how to do stuff. And I got to work with the matriarch before she passed, Frances. So it was, there were some really good things there. And
I can just imagine that being so surreal, especially to work with someone like Frances Reed, who had been on the show since the creation of it, and then just to be in someone's presence.
Well, she was
like
so
that.
wonderful, and I've been quite active in our union, and so had she. Was big, so she would always, "I'm fine, somebody's doing this," and be like, "Larry, I want you to get in there and tell them this." So she was, she was crackerjack, and so we'd have conversations about that and stuff. And I remember being at the. I think it was down at the Taper, or either it was at the Amundsen, and there were pictures of things that had been going on in the 40s, and her picture was there working with Kirk Douglas and stuff during the 40s and stuff. I mean, because it was like Days of Our Lives wasn't the first thing that Frances Reed ever did.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
So, and to be with that icon too, because she's part of the 40s and the movies and everything growing up and stuff. So it was great.
Was there anybody you didn't work with? I'm trying to think. You worked with a lot of people. You had scenes at least with a lot of people,
which is really good with the soap, because they always have the, kudos to the writers and the producers, because they have that Bible that they keep things moving and stuff like that. That was the hardest thing going back when Chloe was a little off her nut trying to get back with Daniel, because I would go, "What is that? Who are they? I don't know. I never talked to those people." Well, it happened when you weren't here. It's out here, and I was like, okay. So there were things that I was just supposed to know that had happened that made it difficult, because I didn't know they'd happen. And quite frankly, as Nancy, I'd go, if I'd known about this wouldn't have happened. Which I felt was sort of a kind of an insult to the fans, because I think the fans and the letters and things that I would get written to me, to my fan club and stuff, going, what are they doing? Why are they again, I'm not in charge.
Right.
You're not.
That's it happens. You have to move the stories on. So sometimes things that are not in your wheelhouse of what you think should be happening are not, because they have to gear the stories to go.
Towards that.
And we're getting ready to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the show, so they're doing things right, I think.
Yeah, one of our people, Loretta Johnson's like, "Would you come back for the 50th?" And you just answered earlier. You're like,
"Well, it's this point. I have been invited to. There's going to be a get together of everyone, which they've included myself and Kevin.
That's nice.
Which is always nice to know that you were remembered for that. But you have to keep in mind too, the soaps move so much faster now, and they are what you're seeing right this moment. They're already shooting stuff in April. I mean, they're 6 months ahead of themselves. So God bless the writers that came in now. They're trying to fix things that are already in the can that they can't. So it's patience and knowing that they are working to make sure they keep the fans happy and keep the show on the air and stuff. So as far as the 50th, I don't think so, because they're that far ahead right this moment, and there's not a place for us right this moment. There could be down the line where it's time for the the chief of staff is back with that daughter from hell. Such a darling, I love her dearly. She's mama's girl, and Miss Joy will. Take over, and we'll start again.
So we have to ask you about Nadia.
Yes, how was it working with Nadia? Gorgeous girl.
She was 18 years old when she started. Yeah. Come on, we watched her grow up, and her mother Fari, and I, we used to pal around and go golfing and do all kinds of stuff together too. So it was, she had two mothers to answer to, but she's lovely, beautiful voice. The whole family. Come on, it's like. Okay, let's just draw imaginary fabulousness, and there they are. Each one more gorgeous than the next one, and more talented than the next one, and. It's amazing, but she, I expect to hear about babies or something soon, because she just got married. And her husband's not bad to look at either. So we're like talking about another whole genre of beautiful people popping out somewhere or another. So
I think fans always get excited because they announced that Nadia was coming back as Chloe. So then it's always like, ooh, does that mean Nancy and Craig are on their way back too?
Well, again, it depends on how the writers are moving things over, and is Chloe's character coming back for just a hop and a skip, and then she's out of there, and I know Nadia's and she's doing films right this moment and other things. I mean, she's a talented lady, so
she is.
In her life, she grew up on that soap.
She did.
So she's venturing out, even doing more things and stuff like that. And it is tough when you grow up on one genre to start and do other stuff. I mean, look at look at Allie Sweeney. I mean, she grew up, she developed a wonderful character. She's beloved by everyone. She goes on to be a fabulous host. Yeah. And now she's got her show on
Hallmark.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a wonderful, besides being talented, she's also saw that she needed to do stuff to grow and expand. So as far as being the manager and the producer of her own career, she's brilliant at that. So that's, I mean, it's terrific. So, and so who's to say Nadia won't have a series or something else herself? I mean, though, unfortunately, she's not 18 anymore. And at this point, you have to be 18, and if you're her parent, you got to be 19. Nobody's over 30 anymore.
Well, I remember the whole with Nadia, the whole Ghoul Girl storyline, and the thing that I
loved it.
I did because what I found so funny was that they tried to make Nadia not look pretty. So they had the glasses and the dark clothes and all that.
Didn't help any.
But I still remember to this day the last blast.
Yes, last blast.
When that
and the
cape
big
came on,
reveal.
when that cape and that red dress.
And I thought to myself, wow, like y'all tried to keep all that under wraps. There was no way you were gonna be able to do that. I still vividly remember being glued to the TV because that was the whole big thing.
It was like reveal.
This big reveal, and I just remember sitting there going, "How does she look? How does she look without the glasses?" It was a fun time for me.
I mean, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even with the glasses, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
But breathtaking when this happened.
Yeah.
And but I think that it speaks to, they should rerun that because it speaks to what happens today in society about bullying.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like
for sure.
You never know. You don't know what's happening at somebody else's home or what's happening in their lives, and so stop it. Stop it.
That's it. Just stop it.
Just stop it.
Was there a storyline that you had while you were on Days that you really enjoyed and really liked? That one that really stood out for you? Because there were so many.
Our first story was the best. I mean, when we drove Nurse Allie cuckoo on the run to Vegas and stuff.
Allie.
I mean, you know,
funny.
I can't. One time where were we in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and some lady popped me and told me to stop messing around with Carrie and Mike, and another lady, two little old ladies out here at the cancer place. She just popped me and then asked me to sign an autograph after. Leave Carrie and Mike alone, bam, like this and stuff.
Oh my God.
So it's, you know, I have to say, the Days fans are incredible. They're the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best.
And was that new for you? Because fans are very devoted fans. Was that new for you to now be on the soap and then kind of being out about in your day and getting popped and being
the worst and the most? I think the most devastating for me was the fact that it took me the longest time to realize when people were screaming, "Nancy, Nancy." And afterwards, I mean, be too late. I'd be getting on a plane or I'd be somewhere else and I'd go, "Oh, they were talking to me and I ignored them. Oh my God, they must think I'm a horrible person." Yeah. And I had such anxiety about that. Now if I hear Nancy and I'm not even on the show anymore, oh yeah, what? I mean, it's that kind of thing because it really was because that's not who I am, and I mean, sometimes Kevin would be dragging me through airports, going, "You don't have time. She doesn't have time. We don't have. Come on," you know, back and forth. But you know, I mean, for anybody, we wouldn't be where we are without our fans, and I'm so appreciative of that. And if I didn't answer you when you called my name,
but you answered me. I picked her and I said, You talked to us. You did. You were busy, and Kevin was with you. He didn't talk to me, but you talked to me, and you're super sweet. That's why that makes sense.
Thank you.
Now you have played many different types of characters throughout the span of your career.
my many decades.
And I feel like you're one of those actresses that you'll watch something and you pop up and you're like, I know her.
Yeah.
She's on this too, you know. It's like, what? And then you flip again. She's on this too.
And I go, there's another check.
Have you as an actor, we all have roles that we would love to play and do. Is there a role that you haven't done that you want to do?
You know, I don't know if it's been written yet, but you know what? I think we all just want to work. And as the radio show that we're doing right this moment in televised, and fans can contact us and stuff, there's all this new media stuff now. These I'm doing The Bay, which just won an Emmy.
Yes, congratulations.
I've auditioned for a couple more, and please, I want the one I auditioned for. Yes. Anyway, but there's so
Give it to her.
But there's I don't know if it's been written yet or not.
Yeah.
There's so many venues now for actors, but I would just say to producers and casting people that there are over 100 and some odd thousand members of Screen Actors Guild and SAG-AFTRA, and to stop just hiring the same people over and over again. Audition more people, and know that we all are we're all talented and we'd all like to work. And
this is true.
It's like I am older, so I do remember that used to go to an audition and there would be 5 people. You'd walk in and there all the producers and the director would be sitting there, and you would do your business there. And as an actor, it's here. Now you go to an audition, there's at least 25 people for every role. Every role. At least 25 people being auditioned. And you're not with anybody in the room except the casting person, and if you're lucky, a reader. Otherwise, you got the casting person aiming the camera at you and then reading. And so see Dick run, and you're supposed to respond. Well, an actor is here.
It is.
So it's very hard when you're suddenly trying to the camera and your reader's over here and you're
right.
It's disconcerting. It's just so young actors train with that camera because that's where it is right this moment. So.
And I mean, versus the career or the industry, when you first started and up until now is vastly different, I'm sure. Like, how do you feel about, the differences between then and now, especially with like all the different mediums and how people are going about this career, and now with reality TV, people use that as a platform to get, like, how do you feel about the work that people do, or how people pursue this career versus now and back then?
Well, it's it's like progress. You have things are never going to stay the same, or otherwise we'd be like the Flintstones running like this. And so it's that kind of thing. So we all get stuck in the ruts. I've learned how to tweet and retweet, but not really well by myself on that stuff. I think if you have younger people in your life, I have no children, so I'm not familiar with this kind of stuff. But at the same time, the way we're having a conversation now is dying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, right.
That's the unfortunate part. That's the thing that I miss, and I think that people, you learn so much more, you see so much more, you hear more than when you're here.
I agree.
And when you only have 140 characters,
I need 160, 175, 200.
How do you keep your life going? And it's like it's for Dancing with the Stars, which is going on right this moment. So I didn't know who this YouTube. To me, I'm like, I don't know who these people are and stuff like that.
Like the YouTube and Vine stars.
Right. Those kind of things make it difficult because I'm not. That's not it. So it's a growing thing. We need to listen, and if we don't talk to one another later, going, I don't understand, what is he doing? What is that? Who is he? Then you've lost. Then I've lost that part of it too. So it's just, I think all of the technical things are wonderful. We do progress and stuff like that. But if we stop talking to one another, if we don't acknowledge one another, if we don't have some kind of passing thing going on between, then we become automatons or robots. It's like Terminator is here. So
no, I totally agree. I feel like I now sound like how my parents sound when I was growing up and things were changing in technology, and we were like, this is this and this is what's cool now and blah blah. And now I'm like, I don't get this, and I miss the days of having a house phone and the cassette tape where for your messages, and not having a cell phone so that you can be text or called 24 hours a day, or even email. Like that was I was around when email first started. So it's just different how we communicate with each other, and how less and less human interaction is happening, and it's all about.
I went to the doctor now, and you have to download and put it on your thing, so now you can talk to your doctor, make your appointment. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need that. And I'm like, I'm a number. I don't even have people. It's like,
it's like you just want. I just want a number. I just want to talk to someone, please.
I got Starbucks downloaded, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Hey, one step at a time.
Oh, I can't.
You download it, and then you let it sit.
I do it.
And then you did it.
I got Starbucks. Don't know how to use it. I bring out my little gold card. Like this thing.
Now, one of our fans on the YouTube, as we had mentioned earlier, she asked about your role in Speed 2 with Sandra Bullock, and how was it working with her? And then under that, she said, if it's not her, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It was me. I wanted around in my bra half the time. Yes, it was wonderful. Sandy Bullock is, just as she says, she's like the girl next door. She was very generous and wonderful to everybody. It was tough being stuck on a ship.
I bet.
Because it was hurricane time, so there were times where, let's just put it this way, you walk in my room, and here was my bed. I slept this way instead of this way, because the boat was going like this a couple times.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was so rough that we couldn't get off the boat a couple times, because two stunt people had fallen between trying to get on the camera boat to go into town, so they finally said nobody can leave. But it was a lot of fun with Jason. It was wonderful. In fact, I saw him at something and spoke to him, and he said hello and stuff. So it was a nice. I mean, we were sort of prisoners on the boat, but it was fun. So it was very nice. Willem, terrific. It was a good experience. It was a lot of fun. Bad movie, good fun.
Hey, also, Root King wanted to ask about, because you were on Step by Step a few episodes.
Yes.
Suzanne Summers, I love her. How was she?
You know what? She was my sister on the show.
Yes.
She was terrific.
Yes.
Peggy Ray was our mom. She passed away. But, it's like one of those things, as an actor, you're sort of there, and Peggy and I were there the first, 24, 25 episodes.
Wow.
But we're watching, we're going, this is a kid's show.
Yeah, it was.
This is about mom and dad and the kids. We're not going to be here next year. So it was like, they sort of just whisked us away and never really explained it. But I see Christine Lakin, who was Patrick, and Patrick was on the soap. I saw, and I talked to Patrick. So I see Christine, I see Angela every once in a while. Those are things I remember and talked to.
Worked with Bobby Ewing. Hello, Bobby Ewing.
Yeah,
that's my man.
Patrick. I got to lay on Patrick.
Oh my God! Oh my
Touch
God!
Patrick.
Oh my God! I love it.
Nice.
I heard he's a super nice guy.
Oh, the best. The best.
That's what I heard.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with already that you would love to work with? Because you've worked with a lot of people.
Del Shores. You were on Seinfeld a couple of times.
Yeah.
Dexter.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sort of looking forward to maybe working with Nathan Fillion like this, but don't you think he's kind of cute?
Yes.
And let's see. Of course, John Huertas, who plays one of the... John is on the board, so I get to hello. How are you?
He's sexy. He's been around for a while, too.
And he's in ex-military, and we're on the military committee at the union and together and stuff. So, I don't know. It's just you want to work all the time. You really just want to do what you train to do, and... So I don't know if the role's been written yet. I've got a couple scripts myself that I'm working to produce.
Nice.
So I just think it's like a natural evolvement to do other things. I had do you know Patrick Laberto?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, and Matthew.
Yes.
Well, their mom and I did shows together, and
wow.
I know them from this size up. But Patrick, who wrote and stuff, Patrick said one time, he says, what you do is you write something, but you write yourself as the fourth character. This way, they can be the lead, but you get to come in and do this stuff all the time. So, I've had some wonderful people that I've met along the way and known and stuff like that, and I'm available. So I audition and do stuff. I mean, it's a great thing. The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
What a wonderful set that is.
Yeah.
What a wonderful bunch of guys there, and I was so lucky to have my little bit on that to do stuff. So it's pop me in and pop me out. Like I am there.
Now I have to ask, because I just have to ask. Have you ever met Roseanne?
Excuse me, I did her show.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I did her show.
Yes, you did.
And,
I loved it.
in fact, the crew, some of the crew on the Big Bang Theory had been the wardrobe had been on Roseanne, and we talked a bit about that.
Wow.
But yes, I did meet Roseanne. I got to meet, and of course I played her.
Yes.
And the only thing she said to me was, "You're crying too much." When,
you slept slicker? Oh my God, I love it. You slept slicker.
But you know what? She is the queen.
Oh, she is. I
She's
agree.
an icon. I bow down to her. I think she creative genius.
Yes, I agree. Completely
I
agree.
was so fortunate to be able to play her, to be on her show, and she's a creative genius.
What is one thing you walked away with playing her for yourself that you took away that you used for yourself?
It's good to be the queen.
Yeah.
Messes with you, baby. You know,
okay, there's the answer right there.
So she vision, sees it, knows it, wants it, gets it.
Yeah.
I like that.
What do you enjoy most about acting? Because you do it so much.
Well, you know what? We talked just briefly a few minutes ago about being bullied.
Yeah.
Okay. I've always been heavy, so it was always fat pig, blah, 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 all that stuff, you know. So I learned early in life to make them laugh so that they laughed with me instead of at me. And when you're an actor, you can be whoever you want to be. So it was an opportunity to show something else, but also to escape for a little bit and stuff. That was the creative part about it. If I can say anything, please, anybody out there who votes or has anything to do with schools and stuff like that, keep the arts.
Yes.
Because not every kid is a jock.
Exactly.
You know, you need that music program, you need that art program, you need the theater program, because everybody can't play sports. Unless you're doing Damn Yankees, honey, and then you can be a baseball player.
Yeah.
But it was such a creative outlet for me to go and do those things in grammar school, high school, college, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing. So, but it was a place that I could. I was accepted for who I was, and it allowed me to be someone else if I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So, and that was the best part.
And that's so true. I'm a 6'2" guy, cannot play sports for anything. God gave me this height, bless him for that, but I cannot use it for sports or anything like that. I tried basketball, but I was a short, chubby kid, and and so running up and down a court was not my thing. So I switched over to baseball because you could run and stop.
Yes.
So that's where I kind of excelled a little, but I was just like, sports is just not for me.
But it was interesting for me because I play basketball, I play baseball, I play golf. So I do a lot of sports and stuff like that. And that was always because it was like if you'd said she's fat, she can't do it. I was like, watch this.
Watch this. Yeah.
It's like it's. Anything. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do, or tell you your dreams don't matter.
Yeah.
My grandkids go to an art-based school in Sacramento.
Good.
Leonardo da Vinci, and so it's a whole art-based program, which they're doing better in the non-art subjects because they have the art stuff.
Because
because
you can be free. There's nothing holding you or judging you and making you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is the bad thing.
I agree.
What are some of your other passions that you have?
I don't think animals or small children have a voice, and if I can be their voice, I will be. So don't mess with them.
Okay. That's right.
Do you have a lot of animals?
I only have one right now. She's a diva, and she only wants one dog in her house by her mother. And she's a little rescue, and she's like, unfortunately, a one dog house. In the past, I've had one. I had a little pit mix, who was the sweetest dog on the face of the earth. I could have had 40 dogs in the house with her. I lost her to cancer, but my little terrier. Terror. People would cross the street to get away from the pit, who was like, "Hello, I love you, I love you," and the terrier, who's like just adorable, like, "Hey, come over here and I'll rip your face off." So it's like, anyway, but and children, I think children don't have a voice, and so you need to speak up if you see any kind of abuse and things like that. So.
I never had that problem as a kid. I spoke up when I needed to. I think
I had that too. I never had a problem with that either.
But unfortunately, there are some that don't,
yeah.
and so we need to be their voices.
We do.
If you see animal abuse, you need to be that voice.
Yes. I like that.
See, I think, just in general, people should speak up. That's why I love that show, What Would You Do, on ABC. I love that show.
See what people do.
Just to see how people react and what people will do in certain situations.
I stood up in the SeaWorld. Some guy was taking a child out, a little girl, and she was screaming. I leaped in front of him and said, "Who are you, and where are you going with this child?" And the little girl stopped crying, immediately latched on. She said, "Grandpa, what's wrong?" Like this. So he thanked me. But, I would rather be embarrassed and say I'm sorry than read in the newspaper tomorrow something happened. So, yes, speak up against things that are going on. It'd be a much better world if we did that.
There was a cat in a tree, in a cage. And me and my friends went back and got her down. Babette, we named her, and had her for years and gave her a good life. But she was in a tree in a cage. And I was like, these people should be horsewhipped.
Well, did you find them?
We did. We took the cat and gave her a better life. And so for years, she still kind of licked the blind sometimes. So it's kind of funny. It reminded her of the cage guest. But it was just like, we saw it, we're like, who does that? And I wonder if so many people who walked by saw that who didn't do anything.
Well, come on, look at the poor little dog that had his mouth taped up. Yeah. Somebody found. There are disturbed people out there. And what people need to realize, I'm on my soapbox. What you need to realize is when you see animal abuse, after the animal, the next thing is the child.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you need to stop it immediately.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those people need to be arrested and prosecuted and given help in prison.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. No, I like that. There you go. Mm-hmm.
So before we wrap things up, because we're almost out of time, what is the best advice you've been given as far as in the industry, and what advice would you give to someone who's starting out in the industry?
What has served you well? What advice has served you well?
Well, it doesn't. I don't know if it faces the industry, but we talked about this earlier too. My mother said, "You don't know. You be nice to people. You treat people the way you want to be treated."
Yeah.
And nobody should have to tell you to be nice to people, but you should be. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and it'll come back threefold.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would pass on to new actors. And again, with new young actors, there are small parts, but there aren't small parts.
Yeah.
That's true.
Take that and make it yours. Make it so that the next time. I started out doing under 5 stuff or extra business years ago. They used to have this special business class. So you'd be a background performer, but they give you special business. Take a look at the Jeffersons, honey. I've been around a long time. Give me a break.
Right.
Worked my way up, baby. There are some things out there that, but you know what? Just do it. Go do it. And now there's so many wonderful venues to do it in. So, but the only other advice I would say is don't do anything that's morally something that you wouldn't want to do. I mean, that's the best way to do it. If it doesn't, I don't do fat jokes. I don't do fat roles unless there's a redeeming thing that comes around for it. And so just find them like this. I mean, if people that sitting at home on their sofas aren't laughing at somebody making fun of me, why do it? What's the purpose of that? But if there's a redeeming thing that comes along and points out what the hell is wrong with you for doing that, then those are the kind of things you do. So don't do any things that are morally offensive to you or hurt other people. That's the best thing to say.
And, and just you're a true testament to, people always thinking like they're small parts. When you were on Days, that was only supposed to be a couple of episodes, and it turned into years of wonderful
years
work.
ago, I did Growing Pains. Growing Pains, I went on one show, went on one time, and was a one mother. Now they had asked me to come back because they remember because I did a good job and they liked me. Everybody liked me, and they said some lady lost her job because she wasn't nice, and they said, "Who can fill this in?" They said, "Call, see if Patrika Darbo's fit." I was available. 5 years later, I was still playing that part.
Wow.
And it was just a little come in, do it. That was Kirk Cameron's vice principal on the show for years. Yeah. So I think in the space of 5 years, I played like 3 different people. I mean, they liked me there, and that's so I got to do stuff. So yes, things. One little thing grows into big things and stuff, and who knows? They see that, and somebody else is watching, going, "Oh my God, I love that! Get that person!"
Yeah.
So and.
Well, that's my biggest hope, is that one day someone from Days will look at me and say, now that can be Maxine's son, and I'm available.
And let me just say this to you. Have you written in and said, I could be Maxine's son? And this is the storyline that I think would be very fun to do.
I haven't written in, but I voiced it.
He's voiced it
a lot on here. Now I need to write it in.
You know who the head writers are. You know what's going on. Write them up. And hey fans, don't you want to see him play Maxine's son? Come on, write in. That's what you have to do.
Try and get him
there
in.
we go. I'm gonna use this as part of my my campaign too. Just this little snippet of you campaigning for me as well. I'm gonna put that in there.
You know what? It's like you have to be your own. Like I said, if you can dream it, you can have it.
Yeah.
Well, not my words, but I'm just rephrasing. But don't let somebody else tell you that you can't. Go find a way to do it. And who's to say that you want to be Maxine's son, but General Hospital says, I like that kid's chutzpah. Let's bring him on as Josephine's son over here.
I'm available for that too.
You see? Don't put yourself in a box.
Yes.
Don't unless the top is open, you can pop up and do whatever you want to somewhere else.
Yes.
So, but you can have it. Just got to go after it.
Oh, thank you so much.
I like that.
You're wonderful. Well, that's all the time we have.
That's all we have time.
I can sit here and just talk
And he
about
did so much research on it.
I know. We got more stuff. I got more cards.
Listen, we had so much stuff. You've had such an extensive career.
We haven't gotten to that yet. You were up for an Emmy. We got to that yet.
It's so much. I mean,
see how I get to come back?
Yeah, exactly. It's a part 2.
We'll have to have a part 2 of it.
Hello.
And briefly mentioned, you did get recognized for your work as Nancy. You won the 1999 Soap Opera Digest Newcomer Award.
Yes.
And you were nominated for.
That's probably one of the highlights. Is an Emmy Award is given to you by your peers, or it's the nomination comes from your peers, and so that was
supporting actress.
And it wasn't and it wasn't just from Days. It was from everyone out. So that was thank you to everyone. If I never got to say thank you, but
we thank you for all of your wonderful work. Like you are someone to look up to and realize that you as you said, if you can see it, you can have it. So why not?
And don't ever let anyone tell you can't have your dreams. You've worked for it. They may not come true because you suddenly may change a path along the way, but go for it. Go for it, because life is so short.
So short. That is very true. Very true. Well, before we head off, I know that you are not quite as savvy on the social media, but in case if someone tweets you and you want to retweet it or star it because you like it,
that's all I'm going to do is retweet it. Don't ask star. What does that mean, star? But I am on Facebook, and if you private message me there, I will of course answer you as best I can. And otherwise I'm sharing this dog and this kid and that kid. But I do answer most anybody that answers, as you know.
Yes.
I will answer you. May not take me overnight to do it, but I do get to it, and I will do it. So
good.
Yes.
And what's your Twitter?
At Patrika Darbo.
There you go.
And Facebook is Patrika Darbo.
There you go. So you guys connect with her. And my chocolate twin, how can they find you if they want to talk to you?
Of course, at Black Hope LA on Twitter, James Lott Jr. on Facebook.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Patrika, it was a pleasure to have you on the show today and to take us down memory lane during not only your time on Days, but just your time in this industry, which we didn't get it's a long road that we didn't get to travel all the way. But I'm sure we're gonna see you pop in, pop out more often.
That's right.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and of course you guys can find us on Dishin Days every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, followed by the GH Report at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you next time for another Spotlight on right here at AfterBuzz TV.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
To get the hourglass for...
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.